Hello everyone and welcome back to Wicked Reading. Today I will be reading SCP-1805, A Real Doll. Object Class, Euclid. SCP-1805 is a life-sized, anatomically correct female mannequin intended for use as a sex doll. It was marketed under the trademark and manufactured by in 2000. It has a PVC skeleton with steel joints and flesh made of medical-grade silicone. The object shows considerable wear, with its original pigmentation faded or missing over roughly 35% of its surface. When SCP-1805 is in an inactive phase, it is indistinguishable from other products of similar manufacture. When an adult male subject engages in sexual intercourse with SCP-1805, SCP-1805 will enter into an active phase, an imprint on the subject. This active phase will persist as long as the imprinted subject remains alive and in the presence of SCP-1805, and will cease sometime between 5 and 10 days afterwards. In an active phase, SCP-1805 is capable of autonomous motion, speech, and intellectual activity. SCP-1805 appears to have mental and sensory capabilities comparable to a human female of 19 to 25 years of age. Its speech is clear and comprehensible, but it appears unable to alter either volume or inflection. SCP-1805 appears intelligent and possessive of a capacity for self-awareness, but is unwilling or unable to acknowledge the fact that it is not human. When asked about events during its inactive phase, SCP-1805 will relate some fictional narrative, with SCP-1805 in the role of a housewife in a suburban setting, always as a spouse to the last subject SCP-1805 was imprinted to. It is suspected that these narratives are constructed by SCP-1805 around the imprinted subject as it enters an active phase. When SCP-1805 imprints on a subject, it will express extreme affection, devotion, and possessiveness for the subject, regardless of the subject's behavior towards SCP-1805. SCP-1805 will use terms of endearment with the subject such as darling and beloved, and refer to the subject as its husband to third parties. SCP-1805 attempts to acquiesce to any expressed desire of the imprinted subject, regardless of its nature, though actions seem subject to SCP-1805's understanding. SCP-1805 has, upon occasion, taken metaphorical or idiomatic expressions literally. SCP-1805 is also extremely possessive and will not permit the subject to leave SCP-1805's presence or vice versa. SCP-1805 will react violently to any attempts to separate them, and will likely cause harm to the subject, itself, or others. SCP-1805 will also show extreme negative reaction to any suggestion that the subject does not reciprocate SCP-1805's affection, or that the subject shares affection, or even substantial interest for any other object or individual. This not only applies to the current actual sexual interest by the subject, but to any sign of affection, interest, or attention, current, historical, or hypothetical. SCP-1805 has shown violent rages when subjects have expressed positive feelings for past girlfriends, pets, children, parents, and fictional characters. SCP-1805's devotion to an imprinted subject appears to subside upon death of the subject. No anomalous effects have been observed in test subjects themselves after imprinting. Special Containment Procedures. When SCP-1805 is in an active phase, it is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment cell in Site-17. When SCP-1805 is in an inactive phase, it is to be wrapped in a lint-free protective sheet and placed in a standard anomalous item locker. SCP-1805 does not require food, water, or oxygen even during an active phase. SCP-1805 requires periodic cleaning with non-solvent-based antiseptic cleansers externally on a bi-weekly basis and internally on a weekly basis, as well as immediately after sexual contact. While in an active phase, SCP-1805 has shown willingness to perform such cleaning itself. In an inactive phase, such cleaning should be performed by D-Class personnel. Sexual contact is only permitted between SCP-1805 and approved test subjects. Imprinted test subjects shall be contained along with SCP-1805 until their termination. Under no circumstances should a living test subject be removed from SCP-1805's presence after imprinting. If separation of test subjects in SCP-1805 is necessary, early termination of test subjects by Foundation personnel is permitted. While SCP-1805 appears cooperative, any requests by it or imprinted test subjects shall require approval by a minimum of 2 Level 3 personnel or the Site Director.